I've written out, responses for the things that I wrote down in my notes that I thought were, arguments or objections to having it go forward, so.
And I went through the planning and zoning, the background information, the information on county commissioners, what they had to say.
Okay, so would you like to take turns going through your lists?
That's fine.
Okay. And anybody want to start?
Well, I can start because I kind of have an opening statement, and basically it is this: what is this public hearing for? An appeal hearing on a decision by the Planning Zoning Board made up of your peers to determine whether the county rules were followed to have utility power poles in the county. And to start it off with, the simple answer is yes, they are allowed under Chapter 5, Chart 5-2 of the Planning and Zoning Rule Book, quote, transmission towers. They are allowed in A1 agricultural limited, A2 residential, commercial general, and commercial corridor as special use permits. They are also allowed in industrial light and industrial heaven permitted as such. Then you go to 7-3.01, standards applicable to special use applications, and that lays out the guidelines that should be met as well as the comprehensive plan mentioned in the application and the appeal.
Okay.
So the first was the application like notwithstanding and co-application under Jerome County's ordinance 7-2.01. That says that requires that an application for a special use permit be submitted by a landowner or leasee of property involved in the request. It further requires that where multiple properties are affected, each landowner or lessee must be identified and included as a co-applicant. This falls down to right-of-way applications, and whether those having a right-of-way through a person's piece of property makes that gives them standing to put in this application. According to the rules, according to law that has been explained not only in the record, having a right-of-way being listed on the right-of-way and getting those right-of-ways by the landowners and getting their permission to use their right-of-way gives the company standing, because now they have the right to do that because they've been given permission by the landowners to use it. So as far as I'm concerned, that meets the proper standing of the applicant.
I've got, the easement holder does not own the land, but owns the right to hold and use the easements for its designated purpose. So in that sense, Grand Basin Transmission, GBT, is the easement owner or easement holder, and is applying for the use of the easement it owns the rights to. Owner rights of the easement were granted to Grand Basin Transmission by various landowners and therefore GBT. The easement holders or lessees, by way of contract and agreement, have a legitimate interest in real property. They provided proof of easements and right-of-ways. I also noted Title 67-6521, an affected person shall be one having a bona fide interest in real property which may be adversely affected by a decision on a special use permit. GPT is the one that applied for the special use permit, and therefore the one who awaited the decision when they applied. And then in addition, I've got a (7-2.01) states that an application for special use permit shall be filed with the administrator by at least one owner or lessee of the property for which the special use is proposed, and that they need to provide the various things listed. Specifically says that they need to provide the name and address and all that, but that they are in fact the ones that supply that information and are the ones that own the easements and seeking a decision. I didn't find any fault with that part.
I researched some of the same material as Ben did, and what he just got over was the fact that GPT is the proper applicant, and they are the property, they own the property easement and can make the applicant, and so in their case, that easement exists. Another argument was that the Jerome Highway District did not provide written comment. Through my research, and according to the Planning and Zoning Board, no comment is a retort to the fact, it is not a retort, but it's to the fact that the Planning and Zoning Board says that it is an appeal, or it is an action, and it's okay. And so I agree with the Planning and Zoning Board in that comment.
That was written for
Okay, the appellants claim the project creates unmitigated safety risks, including EMF exposure, shocks, interference with agricultural activities, plans, and these are addressed through standards, best management practices, and an expert analysis. GPT's mitigation plans also comprehensively cover construction and operation risks that could possibly happen. The record supports that the Planning and Zoning Commission, okay, another problem or appellant asserts was the project will adversely affect the cultural and historical resources, particularly the